get rid of the small cabal, we solved all the problems of the world. Salvation. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the war in Ukraine, the epidemics.
Or I guess I've talked about this before. I guess when I think of simplicity, what I guess, maybe I have said this before and I just forgot. I feel like it's got to be fun to have an explanation for something without needing to do any research on anything. I've never thought about that, I guess.
Poverty, everything is solved just by knocking out this small cabal. So, and it's simple, it's attractive, and this is why so many people believe it. It's not new. Nazism was exactly this. Nazism began as a conspiracy theory. We don't call Nazism a conspiracy theory because, it's a big thing, it's an ideology. But if you look at it, it's a conspiracy theory. The basic Nazi idea was the Jews control the world, get rid of the Jews, you solved all the world's problems. Now, the interesting thing about these kind of theories, again, they tell you that even things that look to be the opposite of each other, actually they are part of the conspiracy. So in the case of Nazism, the Nazis told people, you have capitalism and communism. You think that they are opposite, right? This is what the Jews want you to think. Actually, the Jews control both communism, Trotsky, Marx were Jews, blah, 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 and capitalism, the Rothschilds, the Wall Street, it's all controlled by the Jews. So the Jews are fooling everybody. But actually, the communists and the capitalists are part of the same global cabal.
Like when I asked Nick Fuentes, because the Holocaust, there were a lot of people killed in the Holocaust, okay, at least 100,000, right? For the Holocaust, not only were there 6 million Jews killed, we all know that, there was also I've read anywhere from like 5 to 7 million Soviets were killed as well. And I remember asking Fuentes, were the Soviets killed during the Holocaust, or did they come together with the Jewish people to agree to invent that nobody actually died, right? Or did the Holocaust exist but it only killed Soviet people? Nick was like, well, the Soviets and the United States came together to invent the Holocaust. I was like, what? Really? The diametrically opposed poles of the Cold War came together to agree on a conspiracy theory that big?
This is peculiar. This is weird. And the last thing I'll say,
your issue is with the questioning of it is like if you question it, it's a problem. Versus if you question anything else, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but it's not just the questioning of it. It's that the questioning never comes in good faith. It's not a question of like, well, did that many Jews die or what actually happened? It's this presupposition that Nazi Germany and a lot of other countries started with, that it must be fake because it's a propaganda point for Jews to maintain power over the world. And you take this so far that not only do you deny the fact, first of all, you keep saying like, this is the only thing we do this with. Yeah, it was the biggest mass targeted extermination in human history. Number one. And number two, the idea that you're saying the Soviets, who were ideologically opposed to the United States, so much so that we fought in every country in the world, the Soviets, that they were in on the lie for the Jewish people, I guess. Fun of that. And then the fact that this is the most studied war in world history, World War II.
Why is that?
So many different people, so many archives, so many records from so many different countries that were affected, and somehow every single person has come together in this lie, but you, through your internet sleuthing, have figured it all out?
Again, this is very attractive. Because, now I understand everything, and I also know what to do. I just give power to Hitler. He gets rid of the Jews. I solved all the problems of the world. Now, as a historian, the most important thing I can say about these theories, they are never right. Because the global cabal theory says two things. First, everything is controlled by a very small number of people. Secondly, these people hide themselves. They do it in secret. Now, both things are nonsense. It's impossible for people to control a small group of people, to control and predict everything, because the world is too complicated.
Yeah.
You look at a real world.
There's a talking point that I've used before, is that like all policy is really hard. I wish I had a paper. I've seen arguments before. I've seen arguments as extreme as policy is impossible, that it's actually impossible to accurately predict or influence human behavior with any type of government policy. So the idea that some small group of people have figured out how to do it with unnerving accuracy, that like a group of people figure out how to control the entire world's human behavior, when it's hard to get people to just like change their diet. Destiny. The Holocaust refers to the genocide of the Jews. The others died during that era of the Holocaust. That's great if you say that, and that's great if some people might think that academically, but broadly speaking, I have never in my entire life heard that before. But I'm sure that maybe some people might say that, but I have never in my life heard that before, ever.
conspiracy, conspiracy is basically just a plan. Think about the American invasion of Iraq in 2003. You had the most powerful superpower in the world, with the biggest military, with the biggest intelligence services, with the most sophisticated, the FBI and the CIA and all the agents. They invade a third-rate country, third-rate power, Iraq. With this idea, we'll take over Iraq and we'll control it, we'll make a new order in the Middle East. And everything falls apart. Their plan completely backfires. Everything they hope to achieve, they achieve the opposite. America, United States, is humiliated. They caused the rise of ISIS. They wanted to take out terrorism, they created more terrorism. Worst of all, the big winner of the war was Iran. The United States goes to war with all its power and gives Iran a victory on a silver plate. The Iranians don't need to do anything. The Americans are doing everything for them. Now, this is real history. Real history is when you have not a small group of people, a lot of people with a lot of power,
competing interests,
carefully planning something,
and it going horribly
it goes
wrong.
Completely out of against their plan. And this we know from our personal experience. Like every time we try to plan something, a birthday party, a surprise birthday party, a trip somewhere, things go wrong. This is reality. So the idea that a small group of, the Jewish cabal, the Freemasons, whoever, they can really control and predict all the wars, this is nonsense. The second thing that is nonsense is to think they can do that and still remain secret.
Yeah.
It sometimes happens in history that a small group of people accumulates a lot of power.
He's going to copy all the Destiny talking points. I see. Who is this guy? What's his DGG name? Yuval Noah Harari. Which chatter is he? Yeah, a small group of people can keep certain things secret for a limited amount of time. There's no way you get hundreds or thousands of people in, especially people that want to kill their own people to keep it all a secret.
If I now tell you that Xi Jinping and the heads of the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, they have a lot of power. They control the military, the media, the economy, the universities of China. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is obviously everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Because to gain so much power, you usually need publicity. Hitler gained a lot of power in Nazi Germany because he had a lot of publicity. If Hitler remained unknown, working behind the scenes, he would not gain power. So the way to gain power is usually through publicity. So secret cabals don't gain power. And even if you gain a lot of power, nobody has the kind of power necessary to predict and control everything that happens in the world. All the time shit happens that you did not predict and you did not plan and you did not control.
The sad thing is there's usually an explanation for everything you just said that involves a secret global cabal. That the reason your vacation planning always goes wrong is because you're not competent. There is a competent small group, that's ultra competent small group. I hear this with intelligence agencies. The CIA are running everything. Mossad is running everything.
You see, as a historian, you get to know how many blunders these people do. And they're capable, but they are so incompetent in so many ways. Again, look at the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Before the war, people thought, Putin was such a genius, and the Russian army was one of the strongest armies in the world. This is what Putin thought. And it completely backfired.
Well, a cabal explanation there would be there's a NATO-driven United States military-industrial complex that wants to create chaos and
so
incompetence.
They put a gun to Putin's head and told him, Vladimir, if you don't invade, we shoot you. How did they cause Putin to invade you?
How did the Jews cause Nick to get no-fly listed by fighting with the airline attendant? How did the Jews cause Kanye to get kicked out of JP Morgan by him saying that he wanted to meet with the CEO, otherwise he would hate the company? Right? Like, it's true.
It's the thing about conspiracy theories is there's usually a way to explain everything.
It's not religion. You can always find explanation for everything. And, in the end, it's intellectual integrity. If you insist on, when